to a special episode of the Black Briefing Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Samantha Douglas.
I'm Wild Style Michelle.
Wild Style for show. So on this episode of the Black Brief, I want to do better about intro and actually asking how you are. You know, how is things going? Wow, because I feel like we go straight into content, and I just want to.
Oh, we got to make it more podcasty.
You know, yeah.
It's going better. I think we're gonna have a 50-degree day going, so we can melt some of the snow. And since I'm a pedestrian, that helps out a lot. Because I don't have to go walk in the street and get hit by angry drivers.
Right. I just heard somebody complain the other day. They was like, "Oh, I just saw somebody. They was walking in the middle of the street," and I was like, "Yeah, because where else are they gonna walk?
Where are they gonna walk? Like,
there's mountains of snow on every sidewalk, on every side of the road. We made zero effort to make sure that they would be able to have somewhere safe to walk. So it's like, yeah, I mean,
people hate the ideal of poverty.
Oh my God.
For other people,
the facts.
Well, if you're impoverished, you should stay in the house.
Right. Shouldn't live. Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
But they want you to have a job, though.
Yeah, you better have a job.
Can't be on
Pull
assistance.
yourself up by your bootstraps.
Facts. Ridiculous.
Away from me. I don't want to see it.
I
don't want to see that mess.
Oh, my God. So, and it's, man, I was telling you before we started recording, but it feels like every week has been a week. Like consistently for the last year.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it is also national news that we don't cover as much.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
I mean, because the Epstein files, but there's so many other podcasters covering.
Right.
That's actually nastier and way worse than I thought it was. And I knew it was going to be bad, but
have you gotten a chance to dig into them?
Only what people have been providing, like the information, and it's like, wow, like the conspiracy theories and stuff. Like, they weren't right, but there were elements to all of them.
You know what's funny? This is totally not any part of our list, by the way, so just FYI. But you know what's funny? I actually did a deep dive the other day because of Candace Owens. So randomly, in my feed, a Candace Owens video came up, and it said an open letter to Erica Kirk. And I hadn't really been so I hadn't really been following their beef.
I hadn't either. I heard a little bit. But.
Yeah, I heard a little bit early on, but then I thought they had a conversation, everything was okay. It was the last thing that I thought I heard. But this open letter, oh my God,
it's
wow.
That bad?
Oh, I got to send it to you. She is piecing together a conspiracy with Erica Kirk that, y'all, I'm leaning toward believing. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm leaning toward believing. And she is like on a mission to like find out what happened to him. Like, and she's like, I won't let it go. She's like, I don't care what you do to me.
There was some swirling going on, to be honest with you. I'm just saying.
So,
because they if you ever saw their selfies they took, it was awfully. And didn't she get him to listen to Nicki Minaj? I remember it was some rap like.
I don't know. He didn't feel like Nicki Minaj was a good
role model, but she had him listening to some sort of black music.
I don't remember, but she tells the story of why she left Turning Point and stuff, and the stuff that happened after that. But then she starts going into like when he started to change, like there were very firm decisions that he was making. I mean, this is including Israel. It's including, oh my God, there's another leader, but like just super rich folks, billions of dollars. Like, I mean, she is painting a very big conspiracy, and it is like, it was intriguing. I had to start Googling stuff.
Did she mention any black people?
No.
Okay, well. So. We're not responsible for that, man. I'm going to say it again. We had nothing to do with it.
Had nothing to do with it. As a matter of fact, it's a black woman trying to get to the bottom of what
happened to her.
Imagine that. So, yeah, but I don't know. If y'all want to go on the deep dive, I will make sure. I'll link the video in. And I understand if on principle, you're just like, I'm not watching nothing. But I understand. I will say this. She doesn't say through the whole video, she doesn't say anything like Candace Owens cringy. You know what I mean? It's literally just about the conspiracy that she believes is starting to connect and unfold, and it is deep. So
I'll tell you what, like nobody. I'm not gonna lie. Like I probably didn't have the right attitude about it, and I might have did some things. I'm not gonna say I celebrated, but if I did celebrate, I did not celebrate to the level that Erica Kirk.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
She's had the best time.
Y'all never got to see this episode, but T's and P's, T's and P's is
thoughts and players. That was what I said when
whatever T's and P's means to you.
Yes.
Okay, that's what we feel. But anyway, yeah, I just went down that deep dive the other day, and it was interesting and intriguing.
I mean, the national news is crazy. Also, Evan Bayh was in the Epstein files.
Oh my God, yeah. So,
and I'm not sure, somebody had said that Dan Parker was in there with them, but I don't know.
No, it was a bunch of different. I think Dan Parker is just too common of a name.
Okay, it was a different Dan Parker.
Because I mean, that was lots and lots of money, and I don't think this Dan Parker is moving that kind of money. I don't think so. But I will say this: I'm not shooting him bail, but from the documents that I saw that Evan Bayh's on,
it was nothing
it
like
looks
nefarious.
Like it was just it looks like it was an event that they just all went to, but I mean, we knew he was around people. So in fairness, it wasn't like Bill Gates.
No,
like or Bill Clinton.
I mean, Bill Clinton got less explaining to do than Bill Gates.
Boy,
and even Bill Gates' wife was like, "I don't know that.
I don't want to know.
I don't know him."
She was like, "I ain't answering no questions about it either. You need to ask Bill that." And I was glad to see that she went down. I will say this. You knew then, and you didn't do nothing, but you left once it actually became public. And I did feel a little,
Yeah, I mean, nobody knows what all was, because honestly, I didn't think, I knew it was bad, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Yeah.
I was on the bus here today and was reading some stuff. I was like, it is everything that conspiracy theorists said it would be and more.
And I just seen them bring back up Ghislaine Maxwell trying to like she can get clemency for saying that the president saying Trump didn't have nothing. It's just like, y'all, come on, what are we doing right now?
I saw something about the reporters were chasing Boebert, Representative Boebert, and they were asking her about Ghislaine Maxwell, and she was like, she needs to get more time, harsher penalties for it after she had saw the redacted files.
Yeah.
Or unredacted files.
And that's like, there's a country who's considering removing leaders because they appointed somebody.
The Prime Minister of the UK.
Yeah.
All he did, the Prime Minister of UK is not in the Epstein files. He appointed somebody knowingly that is, and they're talking about removing him. But we got somebody that's mentioned more times in the Epstein files than Jesus is in the Bible.
30. I seen the number. I seen the number 38,000.
Yes.
I seen the number 38,000. Him, his properties, or something like that is referenced. They said 38,000. Y'all.
Is it the Epstein files? It sounds like
it might be the Trump files.
It's the Trump files to me.
And then the audacity. So I keep seeing little news reports too. I just seen one the other day where it was like, police chief comes forward who says that Trump thanked him. No, it was in the Epstein files in 2019, one of the FBI interviews. A police chief said that Trump thanked him in the early 2000s. He was like, I'm so glad you're stopping that guy. Everybody has known he's doing this. I'm so glad you're stopping him. And it's just like, y'all, if y'all don't quit trying to, he's guilty. He is a rapist pedophile.
And the thing about it is, like, another thing that got me was
allegedly.
The other thing that got me about Epstein was he played both sides. He was working with Bannon and he was working with Democrats.
Yes.
Like they was talking about, well, Epstein was a Democrat. Well, the videos I saw, like Steve Bannon is interviewing him. He got all these Peter Thiel. He was playing both sides the whole time.
Because money is green.
Mm-hmm.
He don't care about no red, blue.
And apparently Democrats don't either.
He cared. Apparently, he cared about money and little girls.
Little girls, yeah.
In all the wrong ways. That's like.
Something else I posted was he was I'm not making this up. He was sending a check every year to the gynecology department of Ohio State.
Are you serious?
I swear to God, I looked at it a couple times and I was like, what?
The gynecology
and
department.
They were mailing something to them. No, they don't know what they were mailing to him. But he was sending like every year.
What are people saying they think it is?
I don't know what it was.
You think he was just getting like abortion medicine or something?
No, I don't. I don't know what was going on.
Was it like big money?
They were like $25,000 a year. It's something. They were and it was like the mail, the postage like came up to like it was like $400 or something.
Oh my God!
I don't know what he was, but this was going on for years. It was I shared it on Facebook.
The gynecology department?
Some weird.
Wow, that just took my brain in weird places. At first, I was trying to think of something not too deep.
Let me look at the. I'm gonna pull it up because I had shared it on Facebook because I was and I haven't shared that much about it.
I did not expect us to go.
Made regular payments to the Ohio State head of gynecology. Records show. Quarterly payments of thousands of dollars. Like there's so many people involved in this stuff.
Oh my God. I did not know that. And there's so many that it's so hard to get through. So I was searching them. So I was searching particular terms, like just like trying to, see things. And there's so much in there.
It is.
Like
it's so much.
They took record of everybody who just called in and said anything. They took record of all of their interviews and stuff. And then, like, I tell you what was sick, though. I did see, like, the whole rundown of all of the things that Epstein owned and stuff. I was like, Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
So for the first time, like, ever, I realized I had never heard the guy talk. And then I started seeing all these clips on Instagram pop up. And that dude was extremely intelligent, but he was pure evil. Like, you could tell, like the way he answered questions and how he justified. Like, they were asking him about the sex abuse, and he would just justify it, like, well, that he gave money to somewhere, and they were asking him, like, if the parents of these kids that you just helped here knew about it. He was like, I don't think they would care, whether what I did. And, I mean, it was wild. It was
psychopath.
Yeah, he was. Like, and it was... He was very convincing, like, about what he was doing. I could see how, and he was a power broker. That's the other thing. And he, like, what they're saying he did with the files, that probably using them as blackmail. No, he was. Yeah. I've read enough of the previous ones to know that's what he kept it for.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. That is crazy. I feel like we should have a. We should do a dive on that.
We should. I when it gets more clear,
because it's so much. It's just so much. Mm-hmm. So much to get.
And
through.
I want to know. If there's more Indiana connections. I want to go through them all.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, sorry. I know that was a super long intro.
That was.
Super long intro, but I guess we'll get good clips of national news for our shorts and stuff. So today we really don't have like a lot of topics.
It's a lot going on, but
yeah, we have one that we're going to talk about quickly, and then we'll get to the candidates. The filing window is closed. It closed late last week. And so we are going to go through those. We have a special segment for y'all for that. So first up, for those of you who haven't seen, last week, Warren Central had their walkout protest, and it was phenomenal. These kids are incredible. There were so many of them. They came down 16th Street. You can go to my page if you want to see. I'll link it. I have pictures and videos and stuff of them out there. But they leave Warren. They come up 16th Street, and then the plan was for them to stay in those businesses like parking lots right there. Because again, like we just talked, there's no sidewalks or anything for them to stand on. But a nice little chunk of them ended up walking down to like 10th Street too, like 10th and Post, and then they ended up coming back down and joining us again. But it was such a good time. The kids were out there having a good time. They were protesting. Folks was driving by and honking in support and stuff. And these babies, y'all, was on top of those snow hills, mountains that are in parking lots. Y'all know they were on top of those, holding signs. I mean, freaking knee deep in snow, and they're out there holding these signs and protesting. It's such a beautiful thing. But during that protest, what we didn't know was happening was a couple folks had called in to the police and let them know that there were kids out there with guns, right?
Or no, well, that we were told that kids would be bringing guns.
Oh yes, that kids would
be bringing
yes, that they would be bringing guns or might be bringing guns. And they said it was 2 calls, right? I think so. They said 2 calls, and so when we were out there, I was out there, superintendent was out there, the principal was out there, Dennis, Jarrett, other leadership was out there, and we were kind of standing as barriers, like between the street and where the kids were, because kids are kids, so they were like all over the place, and we were also in the parking lot trying to encourage them to be safe with their cars that they're driving through the parking lot, and there's a lot of people, things like that. But it was mainly like Warren police that was over there with us. I did see IMPD in some cars in the gas station across the street from us, but no IMPD officers were like anywhere near us. And so after the protest later that night, a Warren student who actually graduated early, his mother posted a video of a stop that happened right after the protest. So there was what you see in the video, and I'll link it, of course, is a young black boy. He's in the driver's seat, and at this point, he's already pulled over. He turns on his phone. He sets it in the dash to record, and then you see the officer come up. And at this time, you can tell there's already other officers on the passenger side of the car talking to the other kids in the car, because there's 4 of them. And he comes up to the window. He tells him that he needs him to get out of the car. And he's like saying why, and he's confused. But he's also kind of looking to his right, because the other kid is like also being told to get out of the car. And so he's like trying to make sense of what's going on. That's what it looks like. And the officer tells him he has to get out of the car. He's saying why. He was like, he smells weed. Or marijuana, I think he actually says. He says he smells marijuana or whatever. He's telling him to get out of the car. And the kid is distracted, like, because there's a lot of things going on.
You got people on both sides of them.
On both sides. So he's, like, looking over, like, as he's saying that. And the officer is getting more and more irritated with him as this is happening. And so the officer goes to grab him. He slides sideways. To me, he looks like he's pulling away from the officer trying to grab him out of the car. He slides sideways, and then the officer tells him, "Off can kill you. Off can kill you. Don't do it." And he's like, "The fuck? Like, what?" Like, so the kid is like trying to make sense of like you threatening the kid. He's like, "Why would you say that? Like, what? Like, what's going on?" Right? So they get him out of the car. They slam him on the hood, and you hear his hands and stuff. And he's like, "Bro, why'd you say that? Why you say you gonna kill me, bro?" Like he keeps asking him, and he said, "Yeah, because you were reaching." He was like, "What, reaching?" And he was like, "For what?" He was like, "Because you were reaching for." Did he say you're reaching for a gun?
I didn't even.
So I can't remember. You guys can watch the video though. I can't remember exactly, but he definitely says he was reaching. I think he said he was reaching for a gun. So I don't know. So he gets him out, and then, whatever, right? Now we find out later that they did find a gun in the front passenger side of the car. So the kid that they took out of that seat, what we found out at first was that he was arrested for having a gun.
But the driver that they snatched out and threatened
to kill
was unarmed. And the gun was between the passenger and the door. Which means the driver that they yanked out couldn't have had the weapon initially.
And I am not under the belief that it was visible in the car. I did not, even after our call yesterday.
Because they would have said, hey, he
saw him.
Yeah, or they would have said right there, don't go for that gun. They would have said that. I don't believe that they knew there was a gun in the car.
So now, after this happened, so I've kind of talked about this before on here, but we have like these CRDCs, and I am the co-chair for the Far East Side one, and clearly this happened within my district. And so I hit up Toby, who is the leader of like the CRDC system, the CRT, and I was like, hey, have you seen this? Blah, blah, blah. He asked me, do I think we should have an activation? And I went back and forth. Me and you actually talked about it and stuff, because at first I was trying to see how, because I wanted to make sure that an activation would be helpful. Like, is there additional details that to share with us? Will this make it worse? I wanted to be thoughtful in that process. So I took a few hours. I talked to other people. And ultimately, it just it blew up so much. We needed explanation. Like, we needed additional.
Most of us don't know the chief.
We don't know the new chief, and it was like, I mean, this is a heck of a way to start your first week, ain't it? And so it was just like, let's do it. Let's just do it. Let's see, whatever. I knew emotions would be high with something like this too, because it's insane, disgusting, ridiculous. So we got on the call yesterday. On Monday, we're recording this on Tuesday. So we got on the call on Monday, and we got more details. So what the police outlined is, they said that's when we found out they got these 2 calls from people saying that kids were going to bring guns to this protest. They responded to that. So initially, they just said that they saw this kid get into the front passenger side with the gun into this car.
That's what they told us.
They followed the car. They waited for them to make a traffic infraction, which this one was actually like not using a turn signal. They said a lane change.
And on the call, they said a lane change. There are no lanes to change
on 21st Street.
On 21st Street, or 16th Street, or Midhofer. So I don't know what path they took there, but there are no lanes to change.
Because this whole interaction happens at the gas station that's at the corner, the northwest corner of 21st and Midhofer. So at that Amoco. So, and you can see that by another direction. So there's 2 videos. There's one that the kid actually took himself, so you can hear everything. But then there's a video of somebody that they took from inside the gas station. Is it inside the gas station or inside the restaurant across the street? I can't remember. One of those. But you can see the interaction from like a further distance away. In the gas station. Okay, that's what I thought. You can just see it from a longer distance. So you kind of see just like the overview of what's going on. So once we got, so they said that happened. The chief, I was shocked by this, and I'll give IMP this credit. And I know it's gonna sound wild to you all because
it is wild.
No. I mean, for me to give them credit for this, because it's gonna seem too simple to give somebody credit. But truthfully, y'all, IMPD like almost never admits fault, like never, and especially not out the gate. And the chief spoke first on the call, and it seemed authentic. I think
it was authentic, but
and she said that it was unacceptable, and that anytime, this is what I appreciated really. She said anytime that the police like operate below the standards that the community has for them, she understands the damage to trust that it does and how hard it is to work to rebuild after. And that was better than even the acknowledgement of wrong. To me, expressed a level of understanding that they don't have to just live up to their own standards, but that the standards that we have for them as well. That was a big deal to me. Now, most by any other measure, the statement would be weak.
I think that this chief is probably more savvy than the last one, who would have never admitted fault and probably snuck away to tell us to grow up about the language, because they all had the talking point.
I was gonna say
the language. We don't condone
but
the
she
language.
didn't do that.
She didn't
do that.
It was
Wally.
Wally does, yeah, and they were very adamant, and so the language was a talking point to basically distract from the fact that you could have just said you was going to kill him, and that would have been the problem. You threatened to kill someone
exactly
for no good reason.
So when I got a chance to speak, I asked them. I was like, "Hey, it was very dense. This is a lot of kids. We were packed into 2 parking lots that are big, but they're not huge." I was like, "And you guys were never over there with us. So like, when did you guys see him get into the car? How did you see him get into the car with a gun from across the street?" And so that's when we found out they actually did use drones. They use drone technology out there
allegedly
to see. But
where's the drone video at?
So they did not record the drone video. So it is the officer's
word that they looked on the.
They saw
what
on
would
the
have been
drone.
a phone screen. Hold on.
That's seen a gun on the kid.
Kid's got a gun.
So I'm just sharing with y'all what they said.
I'm just doing a reenactment.
I'm just sharing. So we got that clarity. And then the other point, because when Wally came in to describe the situation and what happened, he kept putting an emphasis on the language was unacceptable. The language. And it was so frustrating to multiple folks on the call because, and finally when I spoke, I kind of broke it down in these 3 ways: that it's the language that's unacceptable, the threat to his life, which is illegal and unacceptable, and then also the escalation of a situation when your job is literally to de-escalate these kind of situations. And to the point that you repeatedly make, and I'm going to let you expound, is that if you know a gun is in the car, you know that he knows the gun is in the car. Why would you do that?
Yeah, one of the biggest issues I had was you're approaching a car with 4 young Negroes, YNs per se, 4 young teenage black men. Now, those are supposed to be the most scary characters for police. You know, the way they talk. So you approach this car, allegedly that there's at least 1 gun in there, right. At least 1, because you claim that y'all were on the drone, flying the drone. It was like you saw him get in with so there's at least 1 gun, but there's 4 of them. So possibly there could be 4. It could be 5, 6 guns. We don't know how many guns you could have, but at least 1's in there. And so you approach it, and you get the jaw jacking. We're not even jaw jacking. You escalated immediately. It was like, I will effing kill you, and as you're trying to yank him out, and you're not worried that the other 3 being teenagers, and they look like kids.
And scared.
They look like kids, might freak out and get to popping. I don't believe the story that we're being told. And if the story is true, first of all, this is more exceptional police work going on under this chief than ever happened under Bailey. Like, wow, y'all got calls, y'all picked it out on the drone, y'all radioed ahead to go intercept them. Like, okay, say that's true, then you drop the ball with the most horrifically stupid police work that I've ever heard of in my life. That is reckless. If the officer knew that there was guns in the car, that was not only reckless against those teenagers. It was reckless against his own life because your reflexes are not that
and
fast.
the other officers there.
And
you would put them in a situation now where everybody feels like they need to defend themselves. Everybody in the situation feels like that.
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. If I'm packing and somebody says I will effing kill you, then that's probably the best time for most people that know that know how to use a gun. To
my God!
Go ahead and take care of that threat.
One of my things was like, we have got to be able to better detect fear. Like, there's so many times where I've seen somebody in these situations and I see it and I'm like, oh, they're afraid. Not to say that that doesn't pose a risk, right? Because I think the point that Wildside's making
is the fear.
It makes it worse.
The fear, like if I'm getting robbed, I would rather it be by a professional rather than a kid with a gun.
Facts.
Because they are scared, they are jittery. And you're telling me you approach this car and you don't know how many guns that they got. They might all have switches. By the time you shoot one or two of them, you're going to be riddled with bullets too.
Right. And so this was,
the story just doesn't add up.
Truthfully, I just don't think, we don't know enough. I will say this. They said on the call that there was more lead up that we're missing in the video. And they know this. Hold on. Because they're saying they know this from body camera footage. So I asked, will the body camera footage be released? And if so, when? Never. They said because it involves minor, we will never see this body camera footage. So that's the other thing. Is like, well, we just supposed to trust y'all word?
I mean, and since you know that we'll never see it, you could say anything. And here's the thing, this is no knock against the new chief because I think nothing she really said I had an issue with. But what she did say was, well, we didn't see the lead up of it and they were having a cordial conversation. Well, okay, well then why did he grab his phone and put it up there if he wasn't worried?
Right.
Like I understand that maybe it looked like they were having a casual back and forth, but that's not. I don't think he does that without him being.
He's scared.
Yeah, being afraid.
He's scared. He is scared, and that's just like they know what's in the car. He also knows what's in the car. He's scared.
Or it's possible he didn't know what was in the car.
And truthfully, or didn't. But I'm just saying, like, he knows. Like they're saying,
all he knows is he's getting pulled over and somebody's threatening to kill him. I've ridden in cars with all sorts of people throughout my life that I don't know what and later I figured out I probably shouldn't have been in the car with them, or I probably, if I'd known better, I wouldn't have gave that person a ride. I wouldn't have picked them up. I don't know what he knew.
That's actually a great point because he didn't have to know. Especially they said it was in between the door and the seat. He didn't. Yeah, no. So he could have not even known. But I'm saying it's still a scary situation.
It's very scary.
He's in a car full of young black boys. And they're getting pulled over. This is a scary situation.
They're getting surrounded.
They're being surrounded. Yeah, they're not even dealing with them one-on-one. They're being surrounded. So that it's intimidating. It's a lot going on at once. And the fact that, and I told them this too, like when you see, because you see him as the officer is talking to him, he's like looking over. And not ever did the officer just like, not even like, I can't remember the word that I was about to use, but just like redirect his attention back to him. Like, hey, listen, yeah, he's gonna take care of that over there. I know it's gonna be okay. Focus here. I need you to get out of the car because of this. You know what I mean? Like, just get out.
I can remember the first time I got pulled over, literally a couple blocks away on 21st Street. For real. Like, this is the late 90s.
Yeah. Ooh, was that
Sheriff's era?
Oh, it was the sheriff's over there.
Mm-hmm. It was sheriff's back then, before IMPD took it over. And it's me and my cousin, and I'm in.
I thought you were gonna say it was IPD because IPD.
No, but it was also equally a mess because it's at night. I pull over literally down the street, right, like the next turn in past the Pizza Hut. Mm-hmm. They pull me over there for not doing much of anything. It's at nighttime. He's on my side talking to me, and all of a sudden a flashlight appears on the other side, and my cousin's like, he kind of jumps, like, because he didn't even see the dude walk up.
Oh my God!
Like, this is the stuff that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And white folks think like we supposed to not be jumpy,
right?
Around that. Statistically, y'all shoot us more than we shoot y'all.
That's a fact, and that we have to. They have to get better at being able to recognize fear. I brought this up on one of our other episodes, but you remember, I don't know if you remember the call where the guy, he's in a traffic stop, he's talking to him, and he opens the door, he gets out, and when he gets out, he grabs a gun and he runs. He's running away through that driveway, and he shoots him in the back.
Shot him
and
in
you
the
remember
back.
They tried to say he as he was running, he points the gun backwards. But I will never forget Taylor at the time, who was the chief at the time.
One of the worst chiefs in Indianapolis history, by the way.
Saying that, I was like, he probably grabbed that gun because he didn't want y'all to get it, to find it. He's not supposed to have it. I was like, so when he took off running, he probably thought, even if they catch me, I can try to ditch this gun. So at least I won't get a gun charge. Yeah. You know? And Taylor's like, well, I don't know why you would grab a gun unless you're planning on using it. And it's like, running away?
Taylor was probably one of the worst police chiefs that we've ever had.
And that's
in my lifetime.
And that's my point, is if you're looking from a lens that this person is just like earlier, this is somebody you should just fear, and that they're vicious and they're just violent and they're this, then that's the perspective you're going to take. Oh, well, he grabbed a gun because he's going to use it. And it's like, or if you're looking at the fact that he's scared, because he looked scared, this kid looked scared.
And didn't have a gun. Had no way of protecting himself.
Exactly.
After somebody said that
why would I want to get out of the car? Because right now it feels like it's the safest thing for me. Mm-hmm. Because once I get out of this car, now also my phone isn't there to record what happens to me and whatever y'all do to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, there's no part of this made sense around like this is effective police work.
It was reckless. It was reckless.
It was very reckless.
The officers, they put their lives in jeopardy.
They did.
And they definitely, absolutely, we watched them put those kids' lives in jeopardy.
And they did. And I don't think we didn't get resolve around that on the phone. I think on this call, I think what it did do is we did get more details on the call than we knew previously. And
they were all fantastical. Again, the amazing drone work, IMPD, if that's how I just don't believe that it was a 20-year veteran. I don't believe a 20-year veteran officer approaches a car with 4 teenagers knowing that someone has a gun in there. And if they saw the passenger get in, and why would you go act aggressively with the person that doesn't have the gun? It doesn't add up. I'm sorry.
I want it to be like a Jabu. First of all, when a Jabu came on, I thought for sure he was gonna say, "Have you drug tested this officer?" Listen, I was waiting for it, as a matter of fact, and he didn't say it, but he did say, we sent you all an email. Did you get it? And he was like, you have, what did he say, 48 hours to respond?
No, he gave
24.
He gave her 10 days.
He gave her 10 days to respond?
Uh-huh.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I don't know what was in that email. I haven't followed up with him, but I'm super interested because I bet it has something to do with what I just said, though, because usually a Jabu, that's what he's on. That when these kind of things happen, that these officers should be tested to make sure that they're not on drugs or alcohol.
I'm sorry, I wouldn't approach people like that even if I didn't know that they had a gun in the car. Like, I mean, he treated them like peons. You talk about somebody. If you could say what you want about kids carrying guns, but if you're obviously that dead set against it, which I don't think they should be either, but you think that there's some antisocial behavior. Well, now you've got a teenager that has the ability to end your life immediately. You tell one of them that you're going to kill them in front of three of their friends. and you think that this is safe
And
for you?
And you made it more unsafe for everybody in that situation, even the officers who are dealing with those other kids and hadn't had any issues. Like, you immediately escalated that situation for everybody. For everybody in that scenario. So this is what I said on the call, that I hope that when because they're doing an internal investigation on this, and it's like, I hope that they consider all of those different factors that we brought up and not just language.
Yeah, like I've resigned myself that we'll never know what really happened.
I know.
But IMPD, if y'all are listening, I just want y'all to know that the story that y'all gave us, and for all my Star Wars fans here, has more plot holes than The Rise of Skywalker.
And I don't watch, so that means nothing to me. But hopefully it means something to y'all.
It has more plot holes than the all three of the Transformer movies combined.
There we go. Now we're cooking.
Like I don't know what happened. I'm not even convinced that the chief knows what happened. It happens that all the times that people under them are lying to them and covering their own behinds too. But what I do know is that the story, y'all did incredible police work to get to pull those kids over, and then you did the worst police work ever. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yeah. There's some. This doesn't make sense. There's some plot holes here.
It's rough. It's rough, and I think in a time where people are just so supportive of like radical transparency, we need that. So, like, one of the things that I asked is, will there be transparency around what happens after this, like with this officer? Like, will we get any follow up on like how he was disciplined or whatever? And she said that it would be available via public records request.
Which means that, like, if you're not a journalist, you've never done this before. And also, if you're not a journalist, you probably don't have a team of lawyers that can back this up if they decide to kind of jerk you around.
So
no.
You know what I mean? That's
no transparency. You'll never know what happened.
Transparency, and so that's I feel like I keep shifting away from the mic, but it's bad.
IMPD needs to handle this. If nothing, look, I'm never gonna believe that you care about black youth. I don't believe that. But I'm sure you do care about your white officers, and that was dangerous, and that your officer put himself and all the other officers in the situation at risk, needlessly.
And truthfully, too, like the bringing up of things you've already done before, as things that you should like bring back. It's like it's never been helpful. So it's like, do some new things. Some other cool stuff came up, like community led trainings, things like that. And I mean, ultimately though, without like a culture shift
and laying down the law, like this is your expectations that your officers aren't going to put the public and other officers in jeopardy. Like all that extra mess and that, what I call it is BS. I don't subscribe to it because at the end of the day, they can send Kendall and Wally out to go hobnob and pretend like that's Sheridan. Pretend. Hobnob and pretend like they one of the guys and all of that. But at the end of the day, maybe Wally and Kendall won't shoot me for a stupid reason. No, I don't know, but I don't know. I'm probably not going to get Wally and Kendall out on the regular street.
And that was another point that was brought up. Is like it's not the officers that are actually out here dealing with folks on a regular day-to-day basis are not the ones that are showing up to these community meetings or conversations. They're not the ones on these calls. They're not, which is probably helpful that they're not on the calls because they'd probably want to argue with us.
I mean, also that would be actually real engagement. We would actually know what we were dealing with out there.
That's true. That's true. Because I mean, and I think I've shared the story here before about like my rough interactions in this position with IMPD. And so it's a internal culture problem. It is a just a lack of like humanness that they just miss, and they don't operate with it, and they don't recognize it in others. And I am we don't actually get to talk about this so much, because usually when we have these conversations it's because IMPD has done something crazy. But I actually am a really big advocate, and I actually do talk a lot about making sure that these officers are having enough downtime, making sure that they're having
I'm for that.
the mental health things that they need. Because I think I also believe that it is unrealistic to think that somebody could, see just our everyday, our once every blue moon emergency situation is there every day,
Every
all
single day, every day.
I'm not about to sit here and ignore or pretend like that isn't traumatic and and damaging to like your psyche. You know what I mean? Like, as human beings,
it colors their opinions, especially the ones from these small towns that don't know any black people.
Yep.
And so for 300, whatever, how many days they work,
yep,
they see black people doing this and this crazy stuff and that, and they think, well, that's all black people.
And that's the only black people that they have engagement with. You know what I mean? Because they go home and their families are white, their communities are white, they're like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, that is not shade, by the way. It's like I'm around black people probably 95% of the time. Like, it's very rare. There has to be specific either events or engagements where I'm around majority white people. Usually I'm around black people all the time, because that's just how my community is. It's how my community is. That's where the stores I go to, the everything, that's how it is. So they're having a similar type of situation, going on with them. And yeah, I'm not like, our brains are wired to make shortcuts, to make things easier for us. And that is something that really needs to be addressed and considered. That this officer, I don't know what he did before this, and I don't know what he did after this. I brought this up on the call. I was like, because after he had an engagement, like an interaction like this with this young kid threatening to kill him, what, did he just go to the next run?
I would imagine so. I don't think it became an issue until
it blew up later.
The social media.
So, and that's what I worry about, is like, they're having interactions like this, and it is unfortunately human that you get desensitized to these kind of things, and to this kind of like this level.
And something else that worries me about this, if that boy hadn't recorded that, the footage is not available. His parents can't even request the footage, is what they told us. So it would have been always his word against the officer's word forever. We would have never have known that this officer did this, and the chances of them believing a young black boy over this officer is what? That concerns me, though.
It's very concerning.
They said that
there was a kid on the call that said that an officer threatened to kill him during a stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. So no, it's very concerning. I hated to see it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he recorded. I'm glad he had the wherewithal to record. You know what else too? I'm so glad, and this is just such a credit, because I know people don't really know this kid, but he's graduated early. He got into the college that he wants to go to. He's worked really hard on the things that he wants to work on and be. He creates content and stuff. So I hate that this happened to him, period. And I hate that, especially in certain circles, that he's being painted a certain way, and that's just not the case. So
IMPD was very, I really didn't appreciate their statement, because they didn't acknowledge the fact that he was not charged. He was not arrested.
Not charged, right.
And so when they put out that, and they showing the guns and vapes and all this other stuff, I'm thinking, oh, well, they got that off of him. No, they didn't.
No,
they didn't get none of that off of him.
Right. And so that's one. That's just one. And I'll make the point too for the other kids. So I've actually had the opportunity to talk to some of the other family members of the kids that were in the car. None of these kids, to my knowledge, have records. None of these kids are like, so I just want to point that. I just want to point that out.
And I also look at the condition of that gun that they took the picture of. I was like, Anyway,
I want us. We got to get somewhere better. I lost the point that I was making. I don't remember anymore. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I just don't remember the point I was making.
IMPD, no, I don't. Whatever you say, tell us. You need to go in-house and fix this.
Yes. Yes. I mean, and that's the core of the issue for me. Is it always comes back to that.
Mm-hmm.
It always comes back to that. Like, this is something that's going to have to be fixed in-house and amongst each other. And two, like, we talked a lot about trust on this call because I think we don't realize. I actually brought this up in a conversation with Kendall. But you know how in marriage or in relationships, they'll talk about how for a woman to feel comfortable to submit, right? It's up to the man to create an environment in which she feels safe enough to submit. You know how we say that?
That's a Facebook argument all day long on my timeline.
It's a Facebook argument all day long. But it actually applies in these kind of scenarios where you are actively creating an environment to make this child feel unsafe, but you still expect him to comply.
And had they taken any action about this spurious threat to kill him, they would have shot all them boys.
And that I don't want us to make light of this. Initially, when I wrote the title for this, I said that the IMPD officer spoke from the overflow, and that is what concerns me the most. Is that this isn't just something that you said, but this is something that you think and feel.
I believe them. I heard it and I believe them.
And he's been on the force for 20 years.
Mm-hmm. That's a culture.
That is a culture. That is a culture problem. And that is not going to change until we start to shift that and start to actually get real accountability for this is not how this department is going to operate. Like, you cannot control the way that trust is being damaged across the country because, unfortunately, we see horrendous things from police departments all across our country. But I think for this chief, for this department, you can put your foot down and say, this is not how we are going to continue, period. And make that hard line. And again, I've said this before, but like, you don't have to throw specific officers under the bus. You can throw specific behaviors under the bus. And as an officer, if you align with that behavior, you are gone. You no longer align with this. And I think that's where we have to get to. And we won't get there with all of this soft shit. Like, we're hard with community, but soft internally when it comes to these officers. It's just like, you just threatened to kill somebody.
Yeah.
And now I need to be soft and understanding with you. And it's like, no, I can make sure that we're addressing real needs, mental health needs, things like that. But no, it's time to be firm with these things and firm with the fact that this is it not only unacceptable, it will not continue because you won't be here. It will not continue. So that's my piece on that. I know we spent a while on that, but I think it is super important. And we do have a new chief right now. And so we can start shifting this culture now. We can start shifting it now. And if you start to actually show accountability, truthfully, people won't keep demanding so much more extremes. The reason why we demand extremes now is because now we've moved to a point of zero tolerance. You remember zero tolerance in schools?
Yeah.
There's so much fighting going on. They moved to a system of, now it's zero tolerance for that kind of stuff, right? It's the same way with community. We've gotten to a place where it's zero tolerance for y'all to make any kind of mistake. Every kind of mistake is the last straw because there's so many straws.
It's been so many over the years.
It's been so many. So we're at a place where it has to be, we have to start getting real accountability. We have to start getting real accountability, real justice in a lot of different cases. And that's how I think we'll start to shift culture, not everywhere, but at least we can start here.
And it makes it safer for your officers.
It absolutely
because
does.
that was unsafe. And
ridiculously unsafe.
Most of the stuff that I can complain about is the officers are unsafe for the public and themselves.
Facts. That is a fact. So we're going to shift out of that. I would love to know you all's thoughts. Please comment and let us know you all's thoughts as well. Or if you have anything that we didn't cover, additionally, points that you thought of, whatever, we would love to hear more from you. And two, if you have anything that you want to share with IMPD, y'all, I am always more than willing to carry any of those kind of messages back to them in their leadership. And this is the credit that I will give to them. They do consistently come to the table. There's not many other agencies, like look at OPHS right now. An absolute dumpster fire.
Cesspool.
And if you ask them to get on a call to let community have, no. So
they don't answer emails. They lie.
Nothing. So I will say that. So if you guys want to share it, I will 100% commit to taking that to them. I actually meet with the new chief next week. Okay. So yeah,
I'll leave that to.
I'll be
to
more
you.
than. Yeah, I'll be more.
I don't meet with the police.
Somebody has to have relationships.
Exactly. There's different roles, and I am more the hammer. Like I'll be there.
Well, and like y'all will meet with folks that I refuse to meet.
That's
with.
true.
So it works out. It balances out. We end up having relationships everywhere, and it works out. Speaking of those relationships everywhere, the filing window is closed. It is closed.
And they got some people wanting to snuggle up to the voters.
We got all the candidates, y'all. We are going to quick. How much time how deep are we in, Jared? A little under an hour already. Oh my goodness. Okay. I know. It was important though. To talk about. So we're gonna run down this thing on the ones that aren't important and are unopposed. Clearly, we're not gonna spend much time on, but there are some that are challenged that we do want to talk about. I'm just gonna go by position, like by seat, because that's how I have the list organized, and that's just whatever. If you guys, I'll make sure I link this list in the comments. So what they do is they put out an Excel spreadsheet with everybody who has filed. And so that's where you guys can get this information. That's where I got this. It is publicly accessible. And so I will put that link down there so you guys can see it as well. But the first one up is Center Township Constable. Okay. As the first seat up, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candidates. That is Kenneth Allen, who is the current constable, Carlos Bailey, Byron Davenport, Melvin Hall pulled out, y'all. The murderer pulled out. Praise God.
Alleged.
Sorry.
He's definitely a killer, though.
He's definitely a killer. He's definitely a killer. He pulled out, and then Elijah Lee, is also Elijah.
Byron Davenport.
Elijah Rocky Lee is what he wants on the ballot.
So I got a text. What was the second one name this year?
Carlos L. Bailey.
I got a text from him.
Oh, okay.
And are you ready to stand with Carlos Bailey? And I was just like, who is that? And so I think it was like a day or two later, like they like gave me like a whole explanation for that he was running for the constable.
It just said, "Are you ready to stand?"
Yeah, it was the wildest stuff. I was like, "Well, who is this?"
Lord Jesus, that's terrible campaign tactic.
I mean, it did get my attention. I was just wondering.
But most people are gonna be like, "Oh, this is a wrong text." You're just a curious person. Like that's.
See if I could find the message. Yeah, it was hilarious though.
So, I truthfully. None of these people have name recognition, and unless they work like really, really hard, I think it's going to be tough to beat Kenneth Allen. Truthfully,
yeah.
I mean, and you haven't heard much from Center Township Constable since all the Denise Paul Hatch drama. Praise God, because you don't want to hear.
I was a Denise Paul Hatch fan.
Were you?
Mm-hmm.
Well. Even at
because she held up the evictions.
Yes.
And Judge Roper likes to evict them, not as much as the other judge out there in Wayne Township. But
Listen, a
Judge
dead
Roper be a
clock is
victim.
right twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a dead clock is right twice a day. I will say, sis was wild.
She was, but
and she had like 50 deputies.
Yeah, and they were like all felons.
Okay, you see what you see?
Not all felons, but it was definitely some. It was a lot of felons.
She was building like her own
army.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, do with that what you will. But it's been much more quiet with Alan. I'll say that. And that's kind of what you want. You want them to just serve and do the thing. I think they're down to like 12 or something, which is reasonable for delivering papers.
I will say I had to make a trip out to Beach Grove to help somebody get their medication that was evicted and all of that. I did reach out to Kenneth Allen, and he actually was fairly responsive about it, but I do missed it under Denise Paul Hatch. That might have not happened in any type of time because she had slowed down the eviction process.
Yeah. And I mean, I won't take anything away from that, but also there was other things.
There were mistakes. There were mistakes made.
Okay. Next one up is Center Township trustee. Center Township trustee, which is LaDonna Freeman. She's unopposed.
Okay.
Claremont Town Council. That is a Republican. His name is Frank Lemaire.
We don't deal with Claremont.
Yeah, we don't. And he's unopposed.
I've had negative experiences out there with the police, and I wasn't doing nothing.
And he's unopposed. So, I mean, yeah. County assessors unopposed. Joseph O'Connor. County auditors unopposed. Mila Eldridge.
Okay.
County auditor. Auditor. Did I say assessor for her?
No, you haven't said auditor. Assessor.
Okay.
Yeah.
County clerk, however, there are 3. Kate Sweeney Bell, who is the incumbent, Bobby Kern.
Kern. Oh, man, that's a name. He got us put on the Daily Show.
And Carla Lopez Owens.
Okay. Carla is the right choice for me.
Carla's the right choice for me.
Bobby Kern got us put on the Daily Show a long time ago because he had changed his name to the name of this Republican that had died named Kern, because his name was Bobby Hidalgo before that. And the voters were so stupid in the district. This was up like in the north, like in, I think, Fishers and Carmel and that area, that he won the primary.
You are kidding.
And we got put on the Daily Show with Jon Stewart, and he clowned.
Up.
I can't. All the district numbers have changed, but they clowned us on the Daily Show nationally.
Oh my God! I'll try to find that and link it.
I've looked hilarious. For years, but I remember watching it. Because I got my political education from Jon Stewart.
That's a fact.
And he clowned us.
Oh my God!
This was back when Dan Burton was a congressman too.
Oh my God!
He was a big idiot that said stuff. It was terrible.
So, next one up is county recorders unopposed. That is Faith James Kimbrough. I like her.
Okay.
County sheriff is unopposed. Gregory Patrick.
I was surprised about that. I don't know who that is, but hopefully it's better than the horrible.
I don't know him either.
Sheriff that we have now, Forrestal.
And I feel like that was different than the name that I was hearing too. Wasn't there another name for sheriff? An older black man, or is this the older black man? Me neither. But he's unopposed, so
I just know that Forrestal is going to hopefully quit messing up the sheriff's department worse than it already was.
He's running for Senate. I guess.
And only a fool would vote for him.
Jesus.
I mean, he got his own deputies killed.
Oh my God.
I mean, let's
That's
be honest.
Fact, though. That's a fact, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. A Decatur Township constable. There are 2, both Republican. Dawson Brown and Luke Schmidt.
Who's the current one?
I don't know.
Okay. It doesn't have an I with the incumbent on these lists.
On this list, it does not.
Oh, okay.
It does not. And it does not. Sorry. So I don't know, and I'm not familiar with Decatur real strong. So y'all put it in the comments. Somebody knows that's watching.
I went down there this year for not the first time, but to the court. Yeah, it was interesting.
Jason Holiday dated Decatur Township trustee. He is unopposed, so he's in there. Then there is an amazingly long list of PCs, y'all. So I have this organized by office. So from 21 all the way down to what I say 375. Let me see, all the way down to 375 is all PCs.
That's
Y'all,
incredible.
congrats. That is incredible. So I went back to the list of candidates from 2022, and I counted just over 70 people ran for PC in 2022. That was the last PC election.
So this is 5 times as many candidates for PC.
We oh my God, we should be so proud. And there's so many people. The progressive Dems, Mike Olis and Megan over there, Carla Lopez Owens and me teamed up. So the Latino caucus, and then they actually turned in a bunch of forms. I went to Franklin Township Dems. I went and spoke at an Indivisible meeting.
Okay.
We obviously we did multiple trainings, but then Wes, the vice chair of the Marion County Democrat Party, was at every club doing their presentation on PC. And there's Tina Algren, and I know other notaries that have been working really hard getting people signed up. But I mean, truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Making sure that these seats are elected is really the way that we get to a much better functioning party and system. And so thank y'all so much for such incredible work. And we are going to find a way to celebrate. So if you filed for PC, please come and celebrate with us. Just getting so many people to run, but also the to get more information, because we're not just going to abandon you. Now that we've talked you into running, we're going to support you through this running process as well. So please, when I release that date, please come out, because it's going to be incredible. And then there's a very, very long list of folks running for state delegate. It looks like LaDonna Freeman dropped out of that one. Melvin Hall dropped out of that one. Praise God. And let me see if the next one is up. Okay, so then we get to Franklin Township Constable is unopposed. This is Christina Shaw, Republican.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Franklin Township Trustee, also Republican, unopposed, Danny Meter, something like that. Lawrence Township Constable, y'all. Lawrence Township Constable. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people for
what?
Lawrence Township
for Lawrence Township Constable?
6, y'all. And let me.
That's surprising.
It is Dion Adkisson.
Okay.
Brian Beeler. Tracy Cantrell. Eric Davenport Sr. Eric Forrestal. And John McCrae.
At this point, with Forrestal, if I see a Forrestal on there, I'm just going to say no.
Yeah.
Like that, no to Forrestals.
There is 3 Lawrence Township trustee candidates. Is Larry Brown, Lisa Chavez, and Allison Cole. Oh, I just realized. Does that mean he's not running for re-election?
Who?
Talley. Steve Talley.
Oh.
I just pulled this list this morning, y'all. So it's looking like Talley didn't run for re-election. Oh, we're going to have to celebrate him. Wow. Okay. Wow. So the only person who has reached out to me for sure is Allison Cole. Worked with her on Autumn's campaign.
Okay.
And she's solid. That would, for what it's worth. Just wanted to give y'all that. There is one person that says no office indicated. That's funny. So they fill out the form and they don't know what they're running for.
What?
Yeah, it says no office indicated on the office.
So they fill out the paperwork wrong or what? I'm confused.
Party affiliation not marked. Let me see.
Oh, so we didn't fill it out right.
Yeah, we just didn't fill it out right. Don't even know what that means. Okay. And then for Perry Township trustee, there is a 1 Democrat and 1 Republican.
Okay.
There's James Brown, but he on the ballot he wants to go by Ben Brown, so maybe that's how he's known. And then there's a Patty Hagenmeyer.
She's the Republican?
She's the Republican.
Why did I?
Oh yeah, we knew that. We knew that by the name. We knew
James
that by
Brown
the name.
versus.
You're right. What you know what's so intriguing?
Oh my God.
No. You know what's intriguing by that? You would think he'd want to. Now maybe he's just known by Ben Brown.
Maybe
I don't know this person, but James Brown. So there is a thing with name recognition and getting on the ballot. So you would think he'd leave the James, but I don't know. But maybe he's just known by that. I don't know.
Yeah, if he's known by Ben Brown.
So Pike Township Constable, there are 3: Kevin Maddox, there's Marcus Ragland, and Arthur Rowley.
And these are all Democrats?
These are all Democrats. Yeah, it's Pike. Next one up is Pike Township Trustee.
Okay, drum roll.
Okay. There is 3 of them.
Okay.
It is Melody Barber Hintz, which is it's Ricky Hintz's wife.
Really?
Yeah. Yep, Melody Barber Hintz.
Okay.
That is Ricky Hintz's wife, Annette Johnson, of course, who is the incumbent, and then Claudette Peterson.
Claudette, that's her. That's the board chair of the Pike Township Trustee
Pike Township board, and if y'all
long-time
aren't,
foe.
I was gonna say if y'all aren't hip to the Pike drama, they don't get along. Actually, I'm not sure. And this, I'm not trying to be gossipy, but I'm not sure that any of these 3 get along, truthfully.
I'm not sure. I know 2 of them for sure don't get along.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, 2 of them.
I'm gonna tell you from what I saw last year is that my bet would be, if I voted, I could vote for that. It would be for Annette. I saw what the board engaged in, and I didn't think that was good for the people of Pike Township.
Absolutely not good for the people of Pike Township.
It felt like obstructionism.
Yep.
And with Annette was just trying to do her job, and she could not get just basic cooperation out of them some of the time. And
that's, that would be my opinion too. I've worked with Annette a lot. She's actually on the board with State IDEC, and I like Annette.
Mm-hmm.
I like Annette. And you can work with her, and we've disagreed on stuff and still been good. Like I don't know. There's a lot of things, a lot of green flags with Annette.
Yeah, and some red on the other side. Because I used to. I'm not up there, so I don't always understand. It's always a bunch of he said, she said. But last year was the first year I was like, no, that don't make no sense what the board was doing.
Yeah, I didn't like it either. And I actually I have a really good relationship with Ricky Hintz. I can only imagine his wife is cool too. I don't know. But yeah, I think, yeah. So that's where we're at with that. And then there's a whole long list of Republican state convention delegates. Ours were listed after our RPCs up there too. I just didn't go through all of that. So we did do delegates as well. So next one up is Warren Township Constable.
Okay.
There are 2. Hold on. See, something ain't right. Something ain't right because why ain't Charlie on this list? He's the actual constable.
Is he not running again?
That's what's so weird. So I organized this list by the seat. It should be there.
Oh, did they give you a dummy list? Because, the party's good for...
Y'all, either he's not running. Now it makes me question that other one, if Steve Talley's running or not.
Right.
I'll circle back around with those. But what I see right now is Ansel Andre, Sr., for Warren Township Constable, and William Jackson for Warren Township Constable. He is actually the deputy constable in the chief deputy constable in Center Township right now. And in transparency, I'm actually managing his campaign.
Well, that's
so
deep transparency. Okay.
Yeah. So there's that. The next seat up is Warren Township trustee, and you see there is Bartlett. How do you say Bartlett's son's first name, babe? Jock. Okay, Jock Bartlett. Okay. Vernon Brown, who is the incumbent.
Okay.
And then Marie Hitsey, who is the chair of the Warren Township Dem Club.
Now, was this Bartlett related to any other Bartletts?
Yeah, that's Bartlett's son. This is John Bartlett's son.
Okay.
Yes, this is John Bartlett's son. But yeah, I do not see. There's another one.
There's a lot of hereditary positions out here. But I understand, like, if.
So James Taylor also filed for Warren Township trustee, though, and he's not listed here either.
So this list.
So I'm concerned. Right. Yeah, this list, and maybe it organized them weird. They did, y'all. It's out of order.
Oh no.
Oh, that's whack. Democracy. Oh, that's whack. So, okay. They come up, but they're not in. These are filtered by seat. All the seats should be together. All the offices should be together. That's
it wasn't
strange.
It wasn't entered right.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's responsible for that?
Oh my God.
Who? I'm serious. I don't know.
Yes, you do.
No, I know.
It's K. Sweeney Bell's office for the candidates.
You heard it here. If you think this type of disorganization is great, vote Kate Sweeney Bell. If you think it's time for a change, vote Carla Lopez Owens, or I don't know who the other person was, but I'm voting Carla. Good job, Kate.
So,
because here's the thing. We always used to think that when she was running the party, that they handed out the lists. The PC list like this on purpose. Maybe it's on accident. Maybe this is just what she does.
I promise all I did was download it just this morning before we filmed. I downloaded it and I organized it by office. Alphabetical order.
Some of them campaign finance reports that she's supposed to put up for the counselors were late too.
There was a candidate as well. I'm not going to say who it was. There was a candidate who filed their paperwork, and after they filed, just because it's good practice, they went in just to look at the upload, right? Just to check everything is solid. When they clicked on the link to go to the document, it took them to a list of political articles.
What?
It was not the PDF.
What? What?
It was not the PDF.
What?
It was not the PDF of their filing. And so they had to follow up with them and say, like, yo, what happened? They're like, oh, now this is what I will say. They fixed it very quickly.
PDFs of political articles, though?
It was a link to a bunch of different political articles instead of the actual file.
Yeah, there's some funny business going on there.
I thought it was strange too, but we just laughed about it and kept going.
Yeah, Kate Sweeney Bell will not be getting my vote.
Yeah, so these were not entered in correctly because I know that because down here now they have more Democratic state convention delegates. And then some Republican. And here's another PC down here.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no, there's several more PCs down here. Oh, my God. So there's more PCs, y'all. So there's several more PCs down here. Interesting. Here's a Washington Township trustee right here, Frank Short.
Okay.
Democrat.
So we don't. Oh,
yep.
My goodness.
Okay. Let me see who else. State convention delegate. Precinct committee person, all this stuff. Okay, here's a Wayne Township constable right here, Rodney Standback.
Okay.
Democrat. Don't know him, but Godspeed. Democrat precinct committee person, Warren Township constable. Here we go. Charles Staples. So Charles Staples, he is the incumbent for Warren Township constable, so he is running for sure. He's just in a different weird part of the list. I don't know why. State convention delegate, county clerk, Robin Stewart, Republican. So there is a county clerk. It just says county clerk, though. Okay, where are you at, friend? Indianapolis, so it's Marion County Clerk. Okay. More delegates and precinct committee people. Lawrence Township trustee Steve Talley. He did run again. There he is. Found him. He did run again. Perry Township constable David Taylor.
Okay.
So there's another one. Warren Township trustee James Taylor. Here's another one. That's one that I knew that was supposed to be there. Washington Township constable Kevin Thomas. He's a Democrat.
Okay.
Don't know him. Delegate PC. These are all delegates and PCs. No, another one with the no office indicated. Funny. I don't even know what. You would think they checked that in person, or maybe it was just turned in by a notary or something.
Well, no, but doesn't somebody have to witness it, right?
Yeah, that's what's so strange. How you don't have a party indicated? What do you run it? I don't know. Wayne Township trustee. So here is a Republican, Kent Wells. Don't know who that is. County sheriff, Kelvis Williams. This is the one that's the name. Kelvis Williams. Yes, for Marion County Sheriff. That's the one.
That definitely is a black man.
So that's the one I was trying to think of. See, so it's just in here strange. It says County Sheriff. So Kelvis Williams is the one I was thinking of. So that it's not unopposed. I wonder if there's other ones. There's some folks that dropped out. So right here, Wally dropped out. Michael Wally dropped out as of the PC race. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. Interesting. So there's that. Pike Township Constable, Paul Woods. And then that's it. Everything else is just more PCs and state delegates. So that's incredible. So that's the list, y'all. That's the list of candidates. We made it through all of them. Look at us. I'm excited about these races. I'm more excited though about next year. I'm more excited about the municipal elections next year. I feel like we spend so much time ragging on the city and how bad stuff is. Like I'm super excited.
Oh, it's bad.
To get a fresh wind in there.
Especially, what's going on with this homelessness bill that
oh my goodness.
That the mayor's office may actually be quietly pushing to criminalize homelessness. It's terrible.
Yeah. And that's y'all, nothing surprises me anymore. Nothing surprises me anymore. They find new lows every single day. Every single day they find new lows.
And I was hoping that Chris Bailey was going there to clean it up, but it seems like he's joined right on in.
Oh my God.
Joined right, found a home.
Y'all, I just, listen. I don't even know what to say no more.
We try. Well, you
try.
I didn't try.
we try every day. Every single day. But when it comes down to these kind of things, especially appointments, this is why I'm so opposed to appointed boards, y'all. Mm-hmm. Appointed positions, appointed boards, I'm telling you, it's just when people are not centered, when who they want is not the one who's actually elevated, it never works out well for our community. It's just
agreed.
It just doesn't work out well. So that's where we're at. If there's anything else, especially around these races, you all think we should talk about. Oh, because this is all just Marion County, by the way. I didn't go into the state seats yet. Like all the state representatives and all of those. And today, I just don't think we have the time.
No, there's some
that. Yeah,
I would like to talk about a few, but we'll save it.
We can save it for the next episode, though.
So we probably need to bring some of them people on, let them explain.
Definitely.
Explain themselves. Like, what have they been doing all the years they've been there? What are they going to do? Some of them, what are they doing in their current position? But there's a lot of excitement with that, I think.
Yeah. So we covered all the township seats and the PC and all that stuff here on this list. On our next episode, we'll do a love me not with the state seats. So all the state level seats, all the state representatives and state senators that are coming up. We actually will have an interview coming up with some folks. I'm excited. I won't say who. I'll just wait. But we do actually have some cool interviews lined up. Definitely want to get some candidates through here.
Yeah.
I would love to get both candidates we agree and disagree with.
I would say, and then there's some of them that some of the races I disagree with all three candidates.
Man, there's
there's at least one. I'm like,
It was big news this week that Destiny Wells decided to also run.
Can we discuss
for District
that now?
7?
Let's discuss that now.
We can talk about it now. We can talk about you want to talk about it now.
I didn't see that coming.
I didn't either.
And then it gets to the real awkward point. Did Destiny see that coming? Because like, what is going on?
So
like, what?
I said I didn't see that coming, but I will say this: a few days before she filed, she actually shared a post where Carson makes a comment about he's talking about George Hornado, and he there's a comparison to like a slave master.
Yeah, I said it was not the best.
It was not the best comparison. I will say the clip. Hornado was very masterful with the clip that he played and the way that he
always is.
Then the way that he, because when I saw the full clip, it was still a weird comparison for me, but it made more sense. Like the context definitely helped. I understood where he was going, and Destiny shared, so she shared that Hornado's
I did
clip.
See that.
And she talked about how, like, that's just not how it should be. It shouldn't be like this and blah, blah, blah. Kind of attacking the way both of them are acting in this race. And for some reason, y'all, listen, when I saw it, I screenshotted it. And I screenshot one of the comments that quotes Carson's full quote. Mm-hmm. Because somebody put that on there just to give context, and I screenshot both of those, and I just kept it. Like, and I'm in the practice of doing that. Like, I see stuff that's strange or that strikes me. Why'd she do that? And I screenshot it, and then literally a few days later, she announces she's running for this seat as well. And I don't know.
Maybe we need to bring all three of them on.
People run for. I'll say this: a lot of people run for different reasons. Not necessarily to win.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
But if you're not running to win, I hope you're running to push an issue.
Yeah. So that I would, that, I mean, yeah, and I'd be interested in talking to all three of them.
Yeah, I think I feel like Destiny has put herself right there in the middle of some mess that I don't think it's going to benefit her or serve her. I don't
think this serves her at all.
I don't think that this is something that she can win.
Yeah.
First of all, Hornado has raised quite a bit of money, and he is highly competent. Carson enjoys very broad support in the community, and you can say what you want, but the issues that he's spoken up about and what he's been attacked about is issues that his constituents wanted him to take that position.
Facts.
And so when Destiny gets in the middle of this, I'm just like, okay, what exactly? Or do you have this different and better than both of these candidates?
And that's, I'm challenged by it. Y'all know, I talk about this a lot. I actually really love challenges. The kind of challenges that I don't like are the ones that just feel like they don't make sense.
And you just running the run all the time.
Yeah.
Because that can get a thing. Like, it's like, how can you possibly be qualified, skilled, and passionate for all these different positions that you've run for?
And it could, I mean, truthfully, I hope she does something big with this run, or otherwise it could really ruin her stock
Mm-hmm.
to ever run for anything again. Like,
Mm-hmm.
people will just view it that way. Like, you just running for stuff, whatever. And so, for those of you who aren't following what we're talking about, she ran for Secretary of State.
Mm-hmm.
She ran for, what was the other one? Attorney General.
Mm-hmm.
Secretary of State, Attorney General, and then ran for a state party chair. So, and they was in like succession, quick succession, behind each
And
other.
these are all fairly different jobs here. Like
Yeah.
at some point, it's like, which one of these are you actually passionate about doing and serving the community with? Because it's unlikely that you're going to be great at all of them.
I can only say in my opinion. I haven't talked to her about this particular run, but in having several other conversations with her, I'll say that she's never struck me for any of the seats that she ran that she was passionate about the specific seat, but that she was always passionate about bringing change. And I'll definitely give her that credit. I think it's always been about driving change. So driving change at the state level, driving change with our party. And I would assume, I don't know this for sure, that there's some goal to drive change from this campaign, but I sincerely hope that it's true, and that it's big, that this platform is used in a way that's like,
Yeah.
that brings something good, because I think otherwise it's just going to look really bad.
Yeah, and bring something to this campaign. Like, it makes the other candidates have to dig in deeper about how they're gonna work for our community in better ways.
Because there is this dynamic that people felt like Carson isn't doing enough, right? And they also felt like we're dismissing Hornado too quickly because of his APAC stuff. And so and when I say APAC stuff, because we talked about,
but the rumors have been swirling the entire time.
The platform stuff. Remember the stuff that he did?
Like and he's done enough to add to those rumors. Like, they're
right. And so
that I can say.
So that's why I just said Apex stuff, right? Those connections they've been super damaging, and so there are many folks that are just completely have completely rejected him, or the idea of even entertaining voting for him. So I do understand and see that, but like I said, time will tell. We'll have to see how this shakes out, but I hope it shakes out in a way that doesn't, permanently.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna hold my tongue about it if it doesn't look like that all the candidates are elevating the issues
of the
people. I'm gonna call it out. So
Facts.
if you can't stand the heat, don't.
I'll tell you. I'll give y'all this additional tidbit. This is an additional tidbit that I would love to see. So this is for all the candidates. I would love to see and hear more about how this position could be leveraged to impact our party here on a state and local level. Because I have not seen much of that. I have not seen
Carson. I think that's one of the big knocks on Carson. Even assuming that he can't, being a representative from Indiana doesn't give you that much power. I think he probably could have used it more effectively, but it does give you a bully pulpit, and influence over the party at home, which he has chosen not to use.
Right. And now, which his grandmother did.
Yes, she was very powerful.
She did. So
she controlled who could be mayor of Indianapolis.
And I think that's some of the frustration internally with our party. So would love to hear more of that from any of them. Would love to hear more of that from any of them.
How are you going to use your power? Not just the what's written in stone,
right?
But the power that you actually have.
Truthfully, I would love to hear that. I'll bring this point up again when we talk about the state candidates, the state level candidates, when we talk about state representatives, state senators, and even Secretary of State.
Oh, yeah.
Secretary of State and stuff. Like, I want to hear how you're going to leverage this seat, not only in the technical job that you have, because like the elected officials in the state house, like, I mean, really, when we say they're fighting an uphill battle, they are fighting. It's not a hill. This is like Everest. Okay. They are, it is a thing. And so one of the things you can do though is leverage your power to help other folks, right? So leverage your fundraising power to help other candidates try to overturn some of these seats that are close, right? That can be flipped. How are you advocating within the party that we're making the changes to create a better foundation and platform to flip these Republican seats? Those should be some of those priorities. And so would love to hear like those kind of arguments being made, how people are leveraging positions of power to help drive positive change, not just for those seats, but overall for our party and our state. That I would love to hear that.
Because all of these political positions, they come with what you're allowed to do technically on the job, but then you have all this power and influence. You know people. There's people that will answer your phone. There's calls you can make. And too often, I see it all the time with the mayor's office. It's like, well, he just won't make the calls for certain stuff. He'll raise money for this. He'll raise money for that. But when it comes to solving homelessness, it's like, well, somebody else do it, or this, or silence. You know, with the public housing, silence. You know, let everybody else take care of it. These people have power. That's what got them elected. That's what raised them money to get somebody to just give them money to run for office. And so that I judge them by that too, not just their votes. You know, what are you proposing? What are you doing? What are you doing outside of the office? Because I know better. I know that they can do better.
And that, like, I'll say this too, internally, our party has become dependent on candidates in a way that should be flipped the other way around, where candidates should feel like they need the party. And then that's where good accountability can come from. But right now, the party has little to no leverage with candidates, because candidates are literally out here running campaigns by themselves, raising money by themselves. They're doing all those things by themselves. So when it comes time for situations like we've seen with all the sexual harassment allegations, things like that, it's like, with what leverage can they like throw power around? Like, there is none. When I've raised
but you know, I mean, the party got like that because they didn't use their power to fix any of that when they had the power. When they had slating, they had power over candidates. They ran usually the most lackluster, beholden candidates that they could because they could control them. And now you can't control them. And yet these candidates, you know, a lot of the people that got in there like that still don't know how to use their power.
Right. And so, and that's what I'm saying. There needs to be a healthy balance of we need each other. That way, when the party needs to be held accountable, there's folks that can do it. And when candidates need to be held accountable or elected officials need to be held accountable, the party can do it. Like, there needs to be a healthy sense of balance that is not there. So would love to hear that from all the candidates. Would love to hear how they're going to use whatever the seat, and I don't care what the seat is, truthfully, every seat to start bringing back that kind of balance all the way down to PC. It starts with our PCs. How are you going to use that seat to start bringing back balance so that people have power again?
People power.
So that's where I'm at with it. Heart, mind's clear. You want to talk about anything else?
No, that's it. I'm going to save it for the next episode.
Okay. All right. So we will be back with another episode. We will also be back with interviews, and we'll start talking to these candidates, y'all. Super excited to be on this journey with y'all. And I will get back to y'all with updates about the PC like celebration that we'll do and things like that. Super excited for what's to come. I think we're building something great. So thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, all the things. Please comment and let us know what you think. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Me and Wildstar are super accessible. As always, we will have our contact information and our social media accounts and stuff on the slide at the end of this episode. But other than that, that's it, y'all. Have a good week. Enjoy Valentine's Day. Peace.